Let's go down Jerome's. So the Minnesota Vikings wide receiver room is good yet again. I mean, we're the franchise of wide receivers. Justin friggin' Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the National Football League, as well as JJ to JJ. That connection is going to be going down. I can't wait for every different announcer from Fox, CBS coming through. Oh, JJ to JJ. Yeah, I think PA is already over it too. Also, you got Jordan Addison, who's quickly rising up as the best wide receiver too in the National Football League. Certainly helps, and like he acknowledges that the gravity of Jefferson, leaving him singled up, it's easy work. And Addison is an absolute monster. Plus, Jalen Speedy Naylor, career high with 6 touchdowns last year. Could have been 7 or 8. But he did very well filling in for Addison last year when 3 was out with an ankle injury early in the season. As well as Rondale Moore, if he's healthy. Knocking on all the wood. The former second-round pick out of Purdue could be electric and just add so much fun to this Vikings offense. So wide receiver-wise, the Vikings are good on paper, but you do have Rondale, who reportedly from Kevin O'Connell, health-wise may not be ready until training camp. Speedy Naylor's in a contract year. Addison is probably going to be facing his 3-game suspension at some point in 2025 as his DUI case gets adjudicated. So, the Vikings, should they be looking to spend a draft pick on wide receiver? Now, the Vikings don't have a ton of picks. The Vikings certainly could trade down from 24 and multiply and get some more picks there. But with Kwesi, got to catch them all, right? And yeah, blah, 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 corner, blah, 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 safety, lineman, etc. I mean, if value is there, value is there. BPA. And this draft, the wide receiver group is basically a mirror image of this draft writ large, where there isn't a lot of tier 1 talent, but there is a lot of players that will make an impact at the next level. There's a lot of wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3s in this class. And, well, I guess you can include Hunter as wide receiver 1. But up at the top, you got Tet Golden, who's fast. LB3, who I know is polarizing, but I think he's pretty damn legit. Igbuka is a slot machine. Higgins is rising up. Dante Thornton Jr., come on. He's my crush. He is my crush. So there's going to be, people love Jack Betch. Jalen Royals is a stud. I think that there's going to be value all over the place in this draft. And the Vikings potentially could and should partake as well. Because, so here's potential value at each strata where the Vikings have a pick. So 24, if Igbuka is available, just take him. Right. And if certain players are off the board and you can't trade out, because you can't trade out just because you want to, you have to have a willing trading partner. It takes 2 to tango. But Igbuka could bring something to the Vikings offense that they don't have. Just a dedicated slot machine, getting open across the middle all the time, having matchup nightmares. He's way too fast for a safety. He's way too fast for a linebacker. And also he definitely can slither out against slot cornerback. So I would love that one. The more I think about it. Jalen Royals gained some steam. Love his size. Love his fight and tenacity. Cal Williams, great route runner, coming in from Washington State, formerly at UNLV. Took his talents to Pullman. Had a phenomenal senior season. Showed up great at the Senior Bowl as well. And then Dante Thornton Jr. is just, I know, don't get tricked by physical attributes. Oh, but he only ran 3 routes. They're amazing 3 routes at Tennessee. Yeah, just take the top off the defense, watch him go get. And is he more Moritz Beringer than Randy Moss? Probably. But, I don't know, 6th round is whatever at that point. And here's what the Vikings need to do. So we've talked about how the Vikings should set up a quarterback factory behind J.J. McCarthy, right? Because you got Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback whisperer. What about Keenan McCardell, the wide receiver whisperer, right? Regarded as one of the best wide receiver coaches in the game. And the Vikings, roster construction-wise, we're going to have to make some decisions here, because once J.J. McCarthy gets paid in a couple years, roster construction-wise, having a multiple premium receivers and a premium quarterback, that doesn't make sense. All right, so the Vikings have a decision with Addison this offseason. I think this offseason is the key, because Kwesi has to learn from the Eagles and not from the Bengals. Like, if you're going to extend your guys, do it quickly, so you pay Devontae Smith prices versus paying T. Higgins prices. So I think this offseason is the Rubicon for Addison as he's eligible for an extension. They either extend him or they trade him. All right, and it should be a spot, too, where the Vikings draft wide receivers. They put up big numbers opposite Justin Jefferson because they're in single coverage all the time. And then they're traded for huge value, or they leave in free agency and sign a big contract and get a comp pick, and then go from there and then draft a wide receiver and do all that stuff. So I think that could be the blueprint. The Vikings set up a wide receiver factory opposite of Justin Friggin Jefferson, because it could be a spot. Say the Vikings do draft Egbuka, and he eventually becomes wide receiver 2. They trade Addison in the offseason. Naylor leaves at free agency and gets a decent contract. The Vikings get some comp pick love in 2027. Maybe same thing with Rondale Moore, who's on a 1-year deal. And it's a circle of life. The wide receivers opposite Justin Jefferson operate against wide receiver 3s or cornerback 3s and 4s, which would be kind of good. Yeah, we'll certainly take that. Now, I know cornerback, safety, lineman, yada, yada, yada. But if the value's there, the value's there. I think the Vikings could and should partake of the wide receiver class in this draft. But your thoughts are thoughts. Is wide receiver a sneaky need for the Vikings? Yeesh. Let us know. Comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol. Production value.